Hello everyone. So today I'm gonna show you how to bind this front end of this resource counters. Here you can see the counters in the HUD into the gameplay ability systems resource attributes that I'm using to track these counters. I'm using them in my player state. The player state has a gameplay ability system component and it has resource attributes that represent each of these counters. So here I have set up a test gameplay event with keys 7 and 8. 7 will add wood using a test gameplay effect and 8 will add to gold count using a test gameplay effect. So here you can see if I press 7, you see my wood count is changing. If I press 8, you see my gold count is changing. So yeah, that's what we are going to work on today. And here I did 2 episodes before how to use gameplay message system, how to export it from Lyra project and integrate with your own project, and how to do it with blueprints and how to do it with C++. So I'm gonna use the things that we developed in these previous two episodes here, because we are going to have a listener to the gameplay messages that is fired when any of these resource counters are changed within the player state. So the front end HUD will be listening to those messages and update these counters accordingly. So here, yeah, as I said, we are going to use gameplay message system here to bind the front end and the back end. So yeah, let's see how to do that today. And before we get started, let me remind you that you can download the project files of this project and all other thousands of projects I had done from my channel, from my Patreon page. So once you become a member, you can access anything without any limits. So feel free to check it out. And here is the full playlist of this tutorial series. You can watch everything and follow and implement everything by yourself. And here I'm using C++ as the main programming language for the project that I'm working on here. But if you are interested in using blueprints, this tutorial series, strategy game template with blueprints, here I mainly used blueprints, so feel free to check it out if you are interested in that. I'll leave links to everything in description below. Alright, now let's get started with today's episode. Okay, so here is my player state and we implemented this. Let me delete this test message that I sent. This is just to test the gameplay messaging system we implemented yesterday. And here we already have set up this a listener in my HUD to listen to resources.updated messages. And now let me go back to my C++ file, and here let's add a new function to my player state in this format. Here void count and here the data const f on attribute data. So we can bind this to resource attribute delegates. So now here let me just over declare this class and get rid of the error. Now here, so just like this, we would need this is for wood. We have wood, food, stone and gold. So I would need wood, food, stone. Let me just do this. Yeah, suggestions working properly. Good and got. Okay, great. Now, did I implement this already? No. So here, all I need to do is I'll just call on resource count changed. Right. Now here is the implementation of all those functions, and then here I can bind these functions to attribute change events. So yeah, like this. So here I don't have count, I have only get wood, stone, wood, count. So now all good. I think the suggestion system picked up count because I added count to these function names, but I don't really have a count part in the variable name. It's just wood, stone, food, and gold. All right. So now whenever any of these counts, any of these amounts of wood, food, or any of these resources changed, this function will be fired, and that will send a message through the resources.updated channel, and that will be picked up by our HUD. So let me compile. Okay, compilation successful. Now here, just for testing, let me create a gameplay effect that changes one of those counts. So test count change. Let's call it GE test and resource. This is a gameplay effect, but in the real game, this would be used in a place like, let's say, when these characters cut down a tree and gather some wood and drop it into whatever the collection point, let's say the town center. So when as the character drop those woods, we can apply a gameplay effect that change, that increment the wood count that is calculated in the player state as the resource attribute. So that's how this will be used in reality, but this is just for testing purposes. Let's add a modifier, attribute, put, add magnitude, say 10, and make the duration infinite, so the effect will be there forever. Then yeah, let's do a simple key binding for testing. Now 7. So when I press num 7, I will get the state, get complete system component, to 7. Gameplay test add resource. Right. Now here can I get the down? Yeah, we don't need this follow. here we can't actually get the value. Okay, that's fine. Let me just do this. So when we get this event, I know anyway that my ability system is in the player state. So get player state, get ability system component, and then find attribute value, get gameplay attribute value, put. So here I'll print second count, print whatever the count we have. Keep it for like 10 seconds so it does not vanish right away. Okay, see, now wood count is 200. That is coming from the begin play on resource count change event firing. If I press 7 again, see, now it's 210. If I press again, 220. So you can see it is changing. Great. So the system is working. And then let's set up, instead of doing it this way, let's set up a way to change this actual counts that we have here. So the counts are added here in this initialize counters. And this is where I create the counters. And they are based on this resource data table. Here it has wood, food, gold, stone, and population too. So that's fine. So I'll do this. As I create this counter widgets, this WBP resource counter, as I create that, let's also have a variable to hold them, a map. Oh, counter widget map. So the first key would be resource type. I'll convert this to a map, and the value would be resource counter widget object reference. Okay, now from here, right it, I can access the resource type. Get this, right? Type goes like this, and the widget reference comes here. Right. Now here, as we get this, I'll add a function, update resource count, and I'll call it here. Now it does not really matter this payload of this message. All I need is some event to fire. So here, state, get ability system component, and we have the counter widget map. Let's get the keys first. Then Publish row. So this resource type, the attribute resource type is different. So we have a little complication here actually. So anyway, let me, we can switch. Maybe not like this. With this, we can get Cambridge attribute value. And here I select it based on this resource type. So now if it is wood, I can select resource attribute set wood. Wood, wood, don't. Population, we don't really have something that represents it, so I'll leave it as now. And then if this is true, from the values we can get the relevant widget. This, and in the widget I don't think I have a function to update the count, so I'll add one. Update. What I need to do is just count. With this value. Yeah. Now this should change the values in the HUD itself. Let me save everything. Thing is set to 200. No, why did it crash? Load again. Okay, reloaded. Now here it's 200. Now if I press num7, see, 210, 220, 230. So as you can see, as I execute the gameplay effect, the resource counter is changing in the HUD itself. So if you want to test another attribute too, here under test, just add count. Add another gameplay effect. Here instead of wood, I'll set gold. And I'll set it to num8. Gold. Here if I press 8, you can see the gold count is rising. If I press 7, wood count is rising. So the system is working. Now the HUD is bound to the resource attributes that is controlled using gameplay ability systems attribute system. So yeah, now I think we can stop this episode right here. Alright, so thanks for watching. As always, updated project files will be available for download in the Patreon page. Link could be in the description below. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments. See you in another episode. Goodbye.